This episode of Techno Buffalo is brought to you by Toyota. What's up, everyone? Jon Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here, and we are at CES 2014. I've got a very special guest. I am with the one and only Mr. Philip DeFranco. Phil, how you doing?
Yeah, Phil, he's the best. I'm good. I'm exhausted and tired, so I might be a bit crazy, so I apologize in advance.
I will just tap you on the head and wake you up. Just a little,
Good.
like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna boop you on the nose. Boop.
I was like, don't touch it. You're just going to get grease on your face.
So we have been surviving CES 2014. Phil, to stop by, say hello. We're going to talk a little bit about the tech that's here. There's a ton of new things to see. There's cars, there's electronics, and there's one question everybody wants to know here at CES. You ready to be a dad?
Yes! Yes, actually, it's changed what I look at. From the first night on, I was like excited about monitors. I was like, that's cheap. It's easy. I can get it. I can look at it on my phone. Sold. Where can I get it? And then little toys, like there was the Ozo bot. Couldn't look at it the same because I just imagined a small child choking on it. But no, I'm excited. I'm gonna mess them up. I think in all the right ways. That's my goal because you can't not mess them up.
I remember right before my son was born, I got a 3-month-old. I used to travel, I did bungee jumping. I used to think like a couple months before, like, is this gonna kill me what I'm gonna do? Like, do I wanna go on a plane? I'm gonna die. Like, I'm never gonna see my son again, and it's gonna be over, but it changes everything.
So, question, I heard this from like 2 separate people, and I didn't think this is a thing. Did your parents or do you plan on never traveling on the same plane as your significant, like with your wife?
So I'm paranoid. In all fairness, I'm paranoid, but no, I am not that paranoid. I'm not like the president. Like, you can't put the president and the vice president in the same room.
That's the only other time I've heard that. And I was like, but who's the kid going to travel with? No, like, who's he with?
I mean, like, I'm crazy in my head, but I would never, like, other than video, I never say it out loud. Like, no, if we fly together, we're all going to die.
Yeah, together. It's a family unit.
So, kid coming. I know everybody wants to talk about technology, but kid coming.
Yep.
Any advice for would-be parents out there?
Oh God, I'm like the most ill-equipped person. No, nothing. Just roll with it. If I feel like if I was 100% terrified, that's not good. If I'm 100% confident, that's not good. I gotta understand it's a completely new thing. Everyone's gonna say that I'm probably doing the wrong thing. At least 70% of people. And I'm just gonna try and do a decent job and do the things that I think worked when I was a kid, and not the other stuff.
That's fair. Don't listen to anybody.
Yeah,
that's
so
the
far.
Best advice I can give. Mothers, mother-in-law, everybody's got different opinions on how to do things.
Yeah. I was on a vacation with my fiance, and I said that I was drinking, and then everyone was like, "Make sure she doesn't drink." Like, what would make you think? Like
the drinking's gonna cut into her serious drug use. That summarized the internet. Like, there's a kernel of goodness in everything that they say, but it just comes across as like, no, stop it. Let me ask you about technology. Okay. So, being more of a tech enthusiast than, like, say a tech expert or someone who does it all the time, what have you seen here that's been interesting, and what can you not wait to get home into DeFranco Manor?
DeFranco Manor. A lot of like the bigger tech stuff I'm not super excited about. Like, I'm interested in like the Steam boxes. I'm interested in the Piston. I'm interested in that stuff because I like the idea of portable gaming where I always have the games I buy and I never have to go like, oh, well, all of those things that I spent hundreds of dollars on, they're gone. So I'm interested in that. A lot of it's the toys for me. I'm really interested in having the mini Parrot because I'm not going to be the only person with one because of the lower...
That thing looks incredible.
It's awesome. Did you ever get the Drone 2.0?
Yeah, I broke the Drone 2.0.
Exactly. Everyone's
broken
broken
like 6 minutes.
Here, unlike the hobbyist market, there's the Drone 2.0. There's that little one that flips now, which I'm not a big fan of. There's the mini, which now they have the wheels, which also serves as like the weird bumper. And then there was like the $1,200 one by Ghibli. I don't know. It's like almost a hobbyist drone. Yeah. And it's nice, but it's still $1,200.
Is it crazy that's a thing, a hobbyist drone? Dude. Like, we're in it's a hobbyist drone.
It's awesome. Are you kidding me? Like, I went out with Richard Ryan, the YouTuber Rated RR.
Of course, did you go shoot stuff?
Yes, but he also...
I always picture him just like an arsenal all the time.
The first time I found out, drones were like, there was a huge hobbyist community. They like brought 2 guys out, they made their own drones, and then he dropped a bomb with it, and it was amazing. And I was like, it's also the most terrifying thing in the world to know that hobbyists can do that successfully.
Dude, Richard Ryan's a good guy. I remember he sent me an email when the new Galaxy S4 came out. The day he's like, hey, can you get me one? ... I want to shoot it.
Yes. All the tech. Just shoot it. I will also add the one thing I was excited about last time and then is amazing this time, Oculus Rift.
That got from incredible to ridiculously amazing overnight. Yeah, the anti-motion stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's what happens when it's like a really good idea, it's a really good setup in the beginning, and then you get, what is it, $76 million of funding?
Yeah.
And then you see what happens.
Something just got like, well, let's try this.
Yeah.
I mean, they came totally grassroots last year with like a barely working rig. I mean, and now to see a transition of a company and like the power of using social media to help promote them, and now what they can do is ridiculous.
And I believe in it. I believe in using that with like a controller. What do you think about all these other companies trying to kind of jump on the coattails and flesh out the VR experience, whether it be with those straps, whether it be with like that running thing?
Every few years you see like, it was like, okay, Lawnmower Man's going to happen. Like, it's going to happen. I think we just dated ourselves a little bit, but okay, it's going to happen. It's going to be here. And then it was like Virtual Boy.
Yes.
You're like,
I saw pictures from like old school CES and I was like, oh, we're going to look that ridiculous.
It's exactly.
One day.
You're like the brand new Kung Fu game for Nintendo. Jump over snake.
And Sony had that new visor thing with the new visor thing.
Have you tried that?
Yeah, it's I don't know. There's a lot of space underneath. I might have maybe not attached it, but I feel like if it was a full blackout experience, it's cool. But I'm not wearing that outside of my house.
Would you hook up a PS4, Xbox One, and get some gaming on that? That seems.
Maybe
it's like a 101-inch screen, I think, equivalent.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's ridiculous.
It's interesting. I don't know. I'd be much more interested in playing an immersive thing with Oculus Rift. That setup. I don't believe. The reason I think I don't believe in the other VR stuff is it's really expensive on top of everything. You always have to think about like what Joe Blow in his dorm is going to be able to do if he even wants to get up. I mean, they even like I was talking to the guys that I want to say it's pre-OVR, and they made a just upper body version because people were like, we don't want to stand, like we don't want to move, but we want to be able to shoot stuff like this for some reason. I don't know. I'm a big believer in the controller's always going to be a thing. Yeah. It's an extension of the body right now. I don't need to wave at my TV.
So anything else here at the show that you think is a can't miss for people who who aren't at the show that you'd want them to know? What's the must-have DeFranco item?
No, that has to be the Oculus Rift. Oh, I'm just trying to think. Everything else, I forget who said it. It's all evolutionary, not revolutionary. A lot of it is, and like integration of some technology into things that you wouldn't think.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you have one? So maybe it'll help me out.
The curved displays are nice, but I think what didn't get any attention at LG's booth, they have mirror displays that you turn off, it looks like a mirror, and a clear display, it looks like a window, like any normal window. That's 10-point multi-touch. I mean, that to me was, incredible. That's like living Minority Report.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but even still, like I'm finding myself very not, like I'm interested in 4K, but I don't know if it's going to be the standard anytime soon.
Can you see a difference when you watch 1080p? I mean, is it that noticeable?
It's hard, right? Because we're here on the floor with specialized video that's meant to look good, right? It's same guys that back when there were cassette players, like they made special music so it sounded great. I don't know. It looked like the curved when I am in that like perfect zone. It's beautiful. What that looks like when I'm watching regular TV, or if for some reason I have something that can play 4K. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll be amazing, but I'm a guy that I watch things at 720p and I'm pretty content.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to replicate that like standard def to high def. Like remember the first time you watched like a football game in high def,
HD?
and it was like it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's never gonna happen again. I mean, like that, like jaw dropping. Like,
just in there.
I can see the grass.
Right. Well, because the next thing was supposed to be ESPN 3D, and then that channel went by.
It's funny to see how quickly 3D went. Like.
Well, I'm glad that at least this year there are much fewer glassesless 3D. Everyone, I mean, I know I get it, but it's so bad.
It's like a headache-inducing.
Yeah.
The effect is minimal at best.
Yeah.
And there's no value.
It's a great concept, but I mean, I'm a big fan of the glasses that are cheap. I think is that that might be Sony. I can't remember.
Yeah, I know Sony's got some, and LG's got the the passive technology. It's just
the passive, right?
It's like the same technology where kids with the baseball cards, like as you move them a little bit, the guy swings.
Right.
Yeah, just make sure you're right in the sweet spot. You can see it a little bit.
Yeah, as long as I can watch How to Train Your Dragon 3D, I'm happy.
How do you train your dragon?
In all the right ways.
Very carefully.
I don't know what that means.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy. Please leave the comments with me or Phil right down in my pants region. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Special thank you to Toyota for sponsoring our CES coverage.